Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Greg's Beer Review number 1500. Let's go see what's in the fridge today, guys. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Greg's Beer Reviews today. This should be a real treat. This comes from Nate. He sent this to me many moons ago before I even went on the California trip. This is the 2013 edition. This is the 2013 Reserve edition of Deschutes Brewing out of Bend, Oregon. This is the Abyss. And right on the side it says best after 08, 16, 14. And I was going to review this beer before I went on vacation, but once I read the best after date instead of best before or bottled on date, I said, well, I'll just hold this up for a special occasion and do it when I get back. And Beer Review 1500. Boy, when I started this little beer review project about 5 years ago, never thought that I would get to this many beers. I thought, I don't know what I thought. I didn't think that I would be still reviewing beers 5 years down the road and still have this many different beers and so many different ones that I have not reviewed yet. I mean, the craft beer industry is growing by leaps and bounds. New breweries are popping up every day all over the country. It's an amazing thing to be a part of. I really enjoy doing this for you guys. When I first started doing this, it was like a little side project hobby that I had, and now that it's got to the state it has now with almost 13,000 subscribers, it is almost like I've said this before, like a part-time job, but it's almost becoming a full-time job. It really is, with the amount of comments and new subscribers and stuff that I have to deal with every day, and trying to do new beers and record new beer reviews one every day like I do. I don't say it's a chore, but it is a project. It takes a lot to keep up with that, and it takes a lot to time to put into reviewing a new beer every day. So I do enjoy it. I consider myself not a beer expert or a beer pro or even a cicerone or anything like that, but I do enjoy drinking new beers every day. It is a passion of mine, and I do enjoy it, and I appreciate the comments that I do get and the new subscribers that I get every day. It is a pleasure to be doing this. So let's get on with this. I don't want this to be a 20-minute video, even though it is Beer Review 1500. The Abyss from Deschutes Brewery. This beer has almost a cult following. Every time this beer comes out, people flock to try to get their hands on it. And Nate, thank you, sir, for sending me this beer. He sent this one not in the last massive beer package, but like I said, one before I actually went on my little California trip a couple of months ago. So Nate, thanks again, brother, for sending me this. It is, I'd say, well deserving to be Beer Review 1500. So let's get on with it. I'm anxious to get this in the glass and put it to my lips. Commercial description on this. This special reserve series beer will only be offered December through February. Limited distribution. The Abyss Stout brewed with licorice and molasses with 33% aged in oak and oak bourbon barrels. It is dark, it is deep, It's mysterious, aged in French oak and bourbon barrels. This special brew has immeasurable depth, inviting you to explore and discover its rich, complex profile. The flavor of molasses and licorice draw you in further and further with each sip. The abyss beckons. Enjoy the journey. I plan to. IBUs on this beer are 68. This is an 11%er. Pretty big beer. The food pairings for this beer: cheeses are buttery brie gouda Havarti Swiss, and since it is a stout, it is goes well with your chocolate dishes. The meat is beef, smoked meat, game, and grilled meat. Glass roast pint, becker, non tumbler, snifter, oversized wine glass. Got the double glass, and this beer can be solid for extended periods. 11% stout. This beer will keep 20 years, no doubt about it, if it's sold correctly. So, I don't think there's anything else we need to talk about. They've been doing this since '06, I think. '06 was 90 barrels, 7 was 350, 8 was 350, and 9, 10, 11 is the only three that's listed here at 600 barrels. So I don't know what the 12 and 13 edition would be, and the 2014 edition should be coming out between December and February. Sure, hopefully I can get my hands on this. Nate, can you hear me? I would love to have a 2014 edition, and not to just review. If I could get my hands on a 2014 edition, I may even try to sell that one for a few years, just to see if it changes any from this edition. So, without further ado, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews. Beer Review 1500. Now this has got the wax on top of it. Got the black wax. So let me get my knife out, see if I can peel some off the cap without having to spend 20 minutes trying to get all the wax off of this to review. And it still may take me a minute to get into this. Let me see if I can peel some off the cap here, just so I can get the opener underneath of it. It is being very stubborn now, guys. In my personal opinion on this wax, is not very favorable. They do this just to increase the cost of the beer, in my opinion. I love Deschutes beers. They do some pretty amazing stuff. Don't think I've had a bad beer from those guys out of Bend, Oregon. They do really tasty stuff. I put them in the league with the Ale Smith and several other breweries that don't make any bad beers. So, all right, we got it underneath there. Oh yes, very nice hiss. A little bit of smoke coming out of this one into the glass. 11% down the center. It is pitch black coming out of the bottle. Now look at that. This is 11%. And with that aggressive pour, 3 fingers of head on 11% beer. Pretty damn awesome. Pretty awesome. Very khaki colored head, very tight bubbles around the outside. There are a few bigger ones from that aggressive pour. Over to the light, there is none. It is pitch black. It is black as used motor oil. Looks very good in the glass. Very tasty looking beer, don't you think? Let's get a nose on it. I am getting the bourbon. Now, I've seen and read different reviewers, so I didn't have the bourbon, didn't have this, didn't have that. Either you were disappointed with the beer or you were thoroughly enthused with the beer. I am getting the bourbon right off the bat on this one. Cocoa, chocolate, licorice, coffee, dark fruit. The bourbon is definitely standing out. And I love me some bourbon barrel stout. Oh, that smells so good. There is a hint of alcohol, 11%. Wow, that smells awesome, guys. Let's get it to the lips. Cheers, everybody. Welcome to Beer Review 1500. Cheers, guys. Cheers, Nate. Thank you, brother. I'm getting a hint. I'm getting the bourbon. I'm getting the coffee and the licorice and the bourbon. I'm getting a slight metallic taste to it, which usually goes away as the beer warms up. And we still got over a finger of head still after I've been flapping my gums several minutes now. Slightly boozy. Now this is a prime candidate to cellar. I mean, you could sell this beer, like I said, 20 years. 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Oh, it's got such a wonderful smell with the coffee and the chocolate and the bourbon. Very smooth. For 11%, this beer is awesome, guys. It's delicious. Now I would like I said, I would like to cellar this for a few years, but whenever you guys, like Nate and Parrish and a lot of my subscribers, I have the best subscribers in the world, send me beers to review. I would like to cellar a lot of these beers, but I kind of feel obligated when you spend your hard-earned money to buy these pricey beers. Now, I guarantee this beer is not cheap. If I was to guess, I don't know what this beer costs, but I would say this beer is every bit of $15 to $20 a bottle, if not more. And then pack it in a box and ship it to me, and the cost of shipping is just astronomical. That's the biggest deterrent for trading or shipping beers to somebody, is the cost of shipping. A lot of times, I had a guy, Eli, just sent me a beer from North Carolina. He sent me one can of a pumpkin beer, and I guarantee the shipping for that one beer in that box costs more than the can of beer costs. And that's the biggest deterrent with trading and shipping beers to somebody, is the shipping costs. It's just astronomical. A quick reference to that, I had a lady interested in a bottle opener in Canada. The shipping, for me to ship one bottle opener to Canada, the shipping is $24. The bottle opener is only $20. So she's looking at $44 for one bottle opener. That's just stupid. That's just unreasonable. And I'm sure she's not going to buy it because, I mean, who wants to pay more for the damn shipping than the product that you're buying is? I don't want to go off into that, but the shipping costs for FedEx, UPS, and United States Postal Service is asinine. It's asinine. That's why they get 35 freaking holidays a year off, and they make $30 a freaking hour, and they want more. I mean, they ain't making any money. Wish I had a job like that. I really do. So, I'm not going to go off into that. This beer is freaking awesome, guys. It's very, very delicious. We're going to let it warm up. Sip on it for a little while, maybe 45 minutes or so. Share the other half of this with the other half. Maybe even fire up a little cigar, maybe even a big cigar. And come back and do the final chug. Look at the lacing it's leaving on the glass. Deschutes has got it going on. They're just like Ale Smith and a lot of other breweries. They don't produce a bad beer. So, I'll be right back. We'll do the final chug on this one. Thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews for Beer Review 1500. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little left here. This is freaking awesome, guys. It's very delicious. Nice complexity to the beer with the bourbon and toffee and caramel and chocolate and coffee and dark fruits. A lot of stuff going on with this. Like I said earlier, I would love to have one of these to sell her for 2, 3, 5, 10 years down the road and see how well this beer does cellar and how much it changes cellaring the beer. So very tasty, very, very tasty. And I'm glad I saved this one for beer review 1500. It's awesome, guys. Nate, you're the man. I do appreciate you sending me this and the beer mail package that you did earlier this summer. I've had this one for several months now, saving it up because it said best after date, and I was gone on the trip to California and wasn't able to do it. I wanted to save it till after that date to review it, and beer review 1500 seemed appropriate to review this beer, and it is freaking awesome, guys. It is delicious. Not like the KBS, which has so much hype going around it. It's almost impossible to get your hands on that beer now. And if you are willing to stand in line to get your hands on 1 or 2 of those little 12-ounce bottles, it's just not worth it. And when I did that last side-by-side review of the KBS, I don't think it's as good as it used to be. I mean, to me, it seems like it's been watered down, and it's not as good as it was when I first did a review on that many moons ago. So this is pretty tasty. I don't know how much hype is around this beer, or if you have to stand in line to get it, or whatever, or if it's a very pricey beer. Like I said, Nate sent me this, and it is delicious, guys. It is definitely a good beer to get your hands on if you like the style of beer, and definitely a good beer to cellar if you can get your hands on 1 or more of these beers. Like I said, I would love to have one of these to cellar for 2 to 5 or even longer. To see how it does. But Deschutes does not distribute it in Virginia. It doesn't come this far east as far as I know. It may go to New York or Philadelphia or some of the bigger markets, but it does not come to Virginia. So, Nate, thank you, brother. I do appreciate you sending me this one. It was awesome, very deserving of beer review 1500. So, let's do the final chug on this one. Waste any of that's for sure. Very delicious, very complex, a lot of stuff going on with this beer. Very tasty. Bourbon, coffee, chocolate, caramel, toffee, dark fruits, a nice hop presence on the front, very nice on the back end, not bitter. Alcohol is fairly well hidden for an 11% beer. Very awesome. Very, very awesome, guys. If you can get your hands on a Deschutes beers, especially this one, the Abyss, it's definitely worth stocking up if you can get your hands on multiple bottles of this. I wish it was available here in Virginia. I would definitely go buy a case of this if I could get my hands on it and do one 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years down the road, just to see how this beer ages and changes and comes together more. So, it's a 10 beer for me, guys. I kind of figured it would be, and that's why I saved it for this particular episode. Absolutely a 10 for me. It is definitely a 10. There are other beers that have more bourbon flavor. There are other beers that might have more coffee or more chocolate. But for all the flavors to be melded into one beer, and this was a 2013 edition, which was last year's beer, which they do between December and February. This is very, very, very tasty. I consider this a fresh beer because they say to have it after 08, 14, 08, 16, 2014. And we're into October, so we're a tad past that date. So very nice, very nice. I enjoyed it. It was good. It was great. I don't say it's good. It's great. It was awesome. Alright, let's go over to Beer Advocate. Beer Advocate says 100 world class. And these guys don't give those 100s out very easily. They're pretty conservative, so when you see 100 from these guys, it usually means everybody's pretty enthused with the beer. And over to Rate Beer. Rate Beer says overall 199 in the style. So if you meld all those numbers together, it is a 100 beer. It is a 10 beer. It's a 10 plus beer as far as I'm concerned. And I've had, like I said, I've had other beers that have more bourbon taste to them, and where the bourbon overpowers everything else. And I've had other beers that have more coffee in them, and I've had more beers that have more chocolate in them. But this combines everything in a very nice package, and it is very, very well put together, very well brewed beer. Very nice. And for 11%er, not getting the alcohol, very well made beer. So the guys at Deschutes got it going on here. They definitely got it going on. Got the date on the bottle, 11%. The IBUs are 68 on this beer, if I didn't tell you before, so not overly bitter, very nice, it's a perfect package, guys. It's a perfect package. So if you can get your hands on this, or the ones coming out here in the next month or two, you need to pick it up. And if you get an extra one, send me another one. I want a cellar one. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap it up with this one. It's a 10 from me. If you had this one, the 2013 Reserve Edition, let me know what you think. Thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews for Beer Review 1500. We're going to take a look in the fridge of the bar and see what we got going on. See you then.